Welcome back. Look at how big our family tree is getting. It is 1512. And in the last one, unfortunately, Isla and her baby passed away in childbirth. Also, Cassandra lost one of her babies, but she did successfully have another one. Gabriel and Diana got married, and they're currently pregnant. Gabriel also had an affair baby with Verena and moved her into one of the units to take care of her. Tobias wants to marry Violet because they have an understanding, and Eleanor has finally gotten a courtship going on. Siobhan is having some problems because Diana is totally trying to take all of her power away. So, this year, kind of scared about Tobias, but let's work our way up to it. This year, Albert is becoming an infant, so no 8 or 16. I feel like every single time I come to the dice, they're on a number that they can't get, but I haven't rolled yet. Anyway, Amory Gamal, Susanna Dubois, and James Albert can't get a 7, 14, or 19. Cassandra's child. Ooh, man. Okay. Amory Gamal just passed away. Cassandra is just not having any luck. Okay, and then Leticia Goth can't get a 7 or a 13. And is she going to get married? No, 1 through 5. Ooh, she's not going to get married. The Goth family is in danger. Okay, and then for young adults, we have Hector Landgrab and Tobias Larkin. Can't get a 3 or an 18. No 3 or 18. No 3 or 18. Whew, okay. We're okay. All right, let's hop into the game. Alrighty, so here we are. If you need a recap, Diana is currently pregnant. She is not getting along with Siobhan. Gabriel is just doing his work thing while also trying to get his siblings married off. Tobias is still engaged to Elizabeth, but wants to run away with Violet instead because she understands that, he's gay and that he doesn't want a wife. And then Eleanor has started becoming pretty friendly with Nicholas. So there's all that. And I'm going to continue to deteriorate Diana and Siobhan's relationship because Diana wants to make an enemy. And I think that Siobhan is such a great candidate because, she's technically, Diana has just taken over head of household from, as the lady of the house from Siobhan. And so even though Diana does not want to actually raise children, nor deal with Gabriel's siblings, she does like the whole part of her now having power over someone who, should have had power in the household, and she's not really letting Siobhan forget it. Also, I noticed probably a bug with the jewelry pack, of course, but her jewelry has changed from gold to silver, and I don't appreciate it. So, just saying that. Anyway, yes, so they're all arguing. Gabriel has kind of come and sees that they're arguing, and he's like, I don't care, I'm not getting involved in this. So he is not getting involved, and he is just going to continue on chit-chatting with, I think it's Eleanor, who's sitting right there. And yes, I'm just continuing to make their relationship worse and worse. But I think that, Diana might be a match for Siobhan. Siobhan has been very cunning and manipulative and has been changing situations to match her own need. And I think that Diana, being evil, has totally kind of taken over and is giving Siobhan a definite run for her money. So there is that. And I spend way too long trying to make them enemies. Honestly, I could have had them fight if not for the pregnancy. So that's kind of annoying. But we're just going to have to deal with it. Anyway, so those two are arguing. And I do want to have Gabriel talk to Verena. So Gabriel, since he has moved Verena into, her own apartment, he hasn't really talked to her or come to see his son. So he is going to go over there, except for some reason I'm having trouble getting over to that unit. It is kind of frustrating. So let's try this again. And so we do get over there, but we can't go inside for some reason. We can still go into our shared spaces, but she's not even there, and neither is the baby. So anyway, we'll just continue on. So we're going to meet our baby boy, James, and Gabriel is pretty happy about James. He's glad to have a potential backup regarding his potential with his lawful wife. So we'll see. I mean, Diana is currently pregnant, and he expects her to give him at least 2 boys, because then he'll have enough just in case one dies, which that did happen. Like, Gabriel was not the first son. He had an older brother that died when they were young. But yeah, so anyway, he is going to talk to Verena and be like, look, I know that this isn't the situation either of us wanted to be in, but I promise that I'm going to take care of you. You're not going to want for anything. James isn't going to want for anything. And you can still be my mistress, and we can still, woohoo and stuff. And he just got the self-discovery for self-absorbed. And I'm like, yes, he is. But yes, so he is going to flirt with her some more and, get her back into bed. So Cassandra is so scandalized. She's like, I know you moved your mistress in, but do you have to? Do you have to act like this in public? But yes, so Verena is now his official mistress. And so one of the other videos just debuted today, and I got a comment about Elaine. Yeah, Elaine. Okay, so Pom Pom said, okay, but what if Elaine is his mistress, like official mistress? And I don't mind that. I think that yes, he has Verena, but she had his son. That's why we moved her into here, and he could definitely continue to carry on with other ladies, including Elaine. And then if they get pregnant, I will designate an area for them, and if they don't, then I guess they don't have to. Also, I think it's so funny that every time I have Gabriel woohoo, he always goes to someone else's room. He never goes like upstairs to his room. He always goes to someone else's room. And especially like Tobias is always catching him like in his room and stuff like that. And Tobias is just like so sick of dealing with all that like he keeps catching Gabriel in his bed with ladies. And he's like, are you kidding me? Like, so I love that for him. And then we are going to, again, I just need them to become enemies, and I don't care how long it takes, but you're going to do it. You're going to become enemies because I said so. Please and thank you. So the ladies are going to do that. And then we are going to, Cassandra is so pregnant too. She's definitely having her baby soon. Cassandra has so many baby tries. It's unreal. It's like so unreal. Wait, let me see how many more baby tries she has. She has... she has 5 more, including the one that she is going to have. So I guess 4 more after that. Yeah, that's a lot of baby tries. Anyway, so I think that Diana is going to start wanting to take control of some financial situation. She is going to get herself an estate, and she's not going to get these tiny estates like everybody else has. She is definitely going to make sure that her estate is as grand as her husband's. I mean, keep in mind that she's a princess, so she probably would have come in with a dowry that was very large. But, I just think I didn't want to bring that money into our household because we already have so much money. So I am going to say that what culminates in it is like what she already had, but we're going to say that she's spending a lot of money. Like, she's spending a lot of Gabriel's money, and she's spending a lot of money as the countess and everything. So actually, no, I left her as princess, but she is obviously a countess. And she also is technically a viscountess. So all of that. We're just now getting through the night, finishing up the night. Gabriel and Diana are not really spending that much time together, but they are going to check in on each other every once in a while. I mean, obviously, he was just spending a lot of time with his mistress. He's going to talk to Eleanor and be like, so, like, I know that you're potentially talking to some, I think he's the son of a Jew? No, a marquis. I forget. But the son of definitely a titled man, and his older brother only has daughters, so he is technically next in line for the title after his brother. So he's not a bad choice for Eleanor. And so, yeah, we are just moving through that, and we are going to have Elizabeth come over next. So Elizabeth is here. And she is going to come to talk to Tobias, who, of course, leaves immediately. But we're going to pretend that they're talking. So Elizabeth comes over here, and she wants to talk to Tobias. And Tobias, obviously, has been trying to get out of his arrangement with Elizabeth, but he has not been able to yet. And so she's going to come here, and she's going to tell him, look, I can't, keep it in any longer. We need to have a conversation about this. And he doesn't understand what's going on. And she's like, I know about you and Violet, and you're your arrangement. And Tobias is, of course, horrified, but Violet didn't actually tell her that Tobias was gay, just that the two of them wanted to get married. And so Elsabeth, who obviously is not in love with Tobias, they haven't even spent that much time together, but anyway, so she's going to be like, the truth is that Violet is my half sister, and my stepmother kind of keeps her away from engagements and stuff because she's not interested in, helping her out. She hates her, but I love my sister and I'm cool with her. And if you two want to get married, I am happy to step back and tell my father that I don't want to marry you, that he should marry you to Violet instead. And Tobias is so confused. He's like, wait, so if Violet is the daughter of the Watson family, then that means that technically the deal that Gabriel the King and Aries Watson have going on is still in effect because he would still be marrying one of Watson's daughters. So he's really excited about this. She's really excited about this because she wants her sister to be happy. And so I think Elizabeth probably thinks that Tobias and Violet are in love with each other. And she's like feeling very romantic about the whole thing. But she doesn't know the truth, obviously, because Violet would never, out Tobias. But, yeah. So anyway, she just has this conversation with Tobias, and he gets really excited because now he can potentially not ruin Gabriel's deal, but also still not have to marry someone who is expecting, something more out of him. So anyway, he's going to come home, do his homework, and then it looks like Nicholas is actually calling to hang out with Eleanor, which I think is super fun, although he is inviting her out into the woods, but a lot of other people are around. Let's just say that this is like a garden or, a park or something, and unfortunately the weather's not that great, but there's still people out and about. So they're going to continue to chat with each other, and they're going to talk more. Maybe they train a little bit, in sword fighting and stuff. Not here, but in general, they have been spending a lot more time together because he has been telling her about tactical things and cool things because he was a part of the army once, and she wants to be a knight. And so she's really excited that he is so interested in her and in her hobbies and her desires and her passions and her dreams. And she is just falling in love with him because she's cannot believe that she would ever find someone who would be so supportive of her and her feelings. And she always thought that she was just going to be forced to marry someone who wasn't going to support her. And now she's found someone who she could see having a good marriage with. So there's that. I know that I did talk a little bit about potentially having Eleanor be a lesbian or bisexual or something, but I think that we're going to hold off on that because I don't know. I mean, maybe she could be bisexual, but she's not going to have any romance with any ladies right now anyway. Maybe she will in the future. Who knows? But I think that she is falling for Nicholas, and she's really excited that everything is working out well, where she can, one, make everyone happy. Again, like Tobias. Eleanor and Tobias are very similar because both of them feel like they're the odd ones out, but they also still kind of want to do what's best for their family, it's a conflicting feeling. Anyway, we're having our baby. So we're going to have our baby, and it's a girl. She's a girl, and unfortunately, she does not survive. So this is a huge bummer that she does not survive her roles. And I think that, so she died during her infant role. So I think that Gabriel, is going to be sad. We're going to have him spend a little time with her. But of course, Diana does not care about children. She does not like children, and she is honestly probably kind of mad that she had a girl because if she could just have a boy or two, then she could stop woohooing with Gabriel, right? But she doesn't really have that option right now and then she had a girl, and then the girl passed away, and honestly, she wasn't heartbroken over it. She was just mad that things aren't working out for her. And also that, girls are also good to have for marriages and stuff. So, she's obviously full of hormones because she just had a baby. But anyway, she's not that heartbroken. I think Gabriel is more sad than anything. Because I really do think that Gabriel, he wants a large family like his family. Even though he bickers and argues and is mean to all of his siblings, he still loves that he has this big family and that they're all supporting each other, and that he honestly thinks he's doing what's best for his siblings. It's not he's not being malicious when he tries to force Tobias into a marriage. He thinks it's what's best for him, and he's trying to do what's right for their family. Anyway, Gabriel and Tobias are going to have a conversation now because Tobias is going to say to Gabriel, hey, like, I know that we talked about this, but I want to revisit it. And the truth is that I'm just in love with the other Watson daughter. And so can we just switch them? Because then everyone's happy, right? You get to have your deal and I get to be with someone I want to be with. And, everyone feels good about it. And so Gabriel's like, oh, well, I don't see why not. Like, Gabriel doesn't know the family dynamic of the Watson family. So he's like, I don't see why not. I mean, that's fine with me. As long as my plans continue to roll, then I don't really care. So anyway, that is what's going on there. Now we're having, it's All Hallows Eve, I guess. I don't know what the last word of that was supposed to be. But anyway, so it's now the holiday. So what I'm going to have him do is I'm going to have, Tobias is going to do his homework, but Siobhan is going to make a grand meal, and then we are going to invite over the entire Watson family that, not the children, but the dad, the mom, and the two girls. And so we're going to invite them all over so that we can have a conversation about this. Gabriel is going to, advocate on behalf of Tobias. Like I said, Gabriel is not necessarily a bad person. Diana is evil, so she's probably a bad person. But Gabriel, even though he's a hot mess, he still thinks he's doing what's best. He's not, like, he thinks that Eleanor needs someone to take care of her and she shouldn't be a knight. Like, he doesn't, it's not that he wants to stamp down on her dreams. It's that he thinks that that's not what's going to lead her to the life she should be living. So, anyway. Moving on, we are now here sitting at the table with everyone. And of course, they all don't want to sit down and they all just keep getting up and moving around and whatever. But we're going to just talk it out. So Gabriel is going to talk to Aries and be like, look, I know that the deal was for Tobias to marry Elizabeth. But actually, as you have brought Violet here because I asked you to bring her, that Tobias and Violet want to be the ones to get married. And I'm hoping that we can continue our deal just with your other daughter. And Aries is not opposed to that. I think that he's a little bit like, well, what's wrong with Elizabeth? And, Tobias and Violet kind of go with their plan of saying like, oh, well, like we just kind of fell in love with each other and we think we'll, be really great together and we're really compatible and all that stuff. And so Merida, the stepmother, is obviously unhappy with this because she's like, oh no, like she wants her daughter to marry and become a titled lady. She doesn't want Violet to even get married to a nobleman, never mind one with a title. And so she's kind of furious about this and she's like, absolutely not, blah, blah, blah. And Aries eventually just kind of shuts her down and is like, what's the problem? And Merida doesn't want to admit outright to her husband that she hates her stepdaughter, right? She's not going to admit that. She's just going to be like, well, Elizabeth, really, all this stuff. And so Merida eventually has to cave for her husband, who has now said that he thinks that that's a totally fine idea. He's still going to get his title, and that's what he wants. He wanted to get a title in exchange for, this deal with the kingdom. And Tobias and Violet have now entered into a marriage of convenience promise. Using the arranged marriages mod, they have now agreed to have a marriage of convenience. So that's what's going on there. And we are now finishing up the holiday. We're finishing up that conversation. Everything is working out for everyone. And Diana has been kind of sneaky flirty with Elizabeth a little bit since we saw her here the other day. And then she's back and they're going to, why not, right? Diana is into the ladies. I think the other day she was probably not feeling very well because she was very close to labor. But now that she is feeling more herself and feeling more like open to, physically able, she is going to have a little something with Elizabeth. I don't think that it means anything to either of them, but, the moment struck them and they felt good about it. So that's what's going to happen there. Of course, everyone decides to walk in and out of the room, and it's Tobias's room. Of course it is, because everybody woohoos in Tobias's room. And honestly, I think it looks like Gabriel kind of walked in on this situation, but I don't think he cares as long as he doesn't have to worry that one of his children won't be his own. You know what I mean? I don't think that he is going to mind if she is with other women because he's with other women. He's out there having illegitimate kids, and but at least she can't get pregnant with a woman. Anyway, so they're going to woohoo as well. Poor Tobias. It's always his bed. They're going to woohoo as well, and we do want to get her pregnant again before the end of the year because then we can try again to have another boy. So we'll go with that. And then we're going to call... Oh, Cassandra was just we'll say Cassandra sent us a note or something. I mean, Cassandra lives like 2 feet away, so I don't know why we would need to worry about that. But anyway, so I'm going to have them woohoo again. And then we'll get ready for Tobias's birthday. We definitely want to age him up so that he could, we'll have him get married in the next part, not in this part. We'll have him get married in the next part. So there is that. So she's just going to bake the cake, and we'll see what he ages up with his trait is. So that'll be exciting for him. Just handling everything right now. So there we go. Okay, so then he's going to have his birthday, and then we are going to, this part actually ended up being a little shorter than usual, but that's totally fine. Anyway, so we are going to have him blow out the candles, and of course everyone left the table before he actually blew out the candles, but then we'll have everyone have some cake. He actually rolls to be good, so that's sweet, but also quite in contrast to some other members of this family. And then Cassandra had a baby. She had her next baby. Very exciting. And we are going to name the baby Merrick, another boy for her. She is just pumping out the boys. And then we're going to get her pregnant again. Like I said, she has 4 more tries left, but there's only 1 more try left for Kennedy and Albert. So they are on their second baby, and we know it's a girl. So there's that. But yeah, so they actually have their second baby, and their second baby, we name her Paulina. So they're all done having children. So right now for the land grabs, we have Albert Landgrab II, and then Hector has not yet married, but he only has one. Hector here, you can see him, but Hector has not yet married, but he only has 1 baby roll, so the Landgrabs are kind of in danger, a little bit. But anyway, so the birthdays this year, let's go through this. Albert Landgrab II became an infant. Amory Gamal passed away. Susanna Dubois became a toddler. James Albert became a toddler. Leticia Goth became a teenager. Hector Landgrab became a young adult. Tobias Larkin became a young adult. William Docra II became a teenager. Kinley Dubois became a teenager. Werner Albert became a young adult, along with Verena Albert. Casper Albert became a teenager, and then Violet and Elizabeth Watson both became young adults. Whew, so lots of birthdays this year, but everyone is feeling good. Everyone's doing good, and I am feeling good about everything. Let's see. We'll have Tobias get married next year. Anything else going on next year? No, just some children birthdays. I am going to marry off Hector Landgrab next year as well, too, though. I think we might actually marry him off to Elizabeth because she deserves it. And that's that. So I will catch you in the next one.